After Israel's use of live fire against Palestinians on May the 14th, there was condemnation in much of the world, not least the UK.
Yesterday's horrific massacre at the Gaza border left at least 58 dead.
The loss of life we have seen is tragic and extremely concerning. Such violence is destructive to peace efforts, and we call on all sides to show restraint.
The large volume of live fire is extremely concerning. We continue to implore Israel to show greater restraint.
Yet despite those strong words, for years Britain has been ramping up how much weaponry it sells to Israel. Since 2015, numbers have skyrocketed, up 11-fold in the span of just 2 years. And those sales include sniper rifles, weapon sights, ammunition for small arms, anti-riot equipment, and other items similar to those used by Israeli forces against unarmed protesters. The UK doesn't keep data on how such equipment and weapons are used after being sold. Until that can be established, MPs put forward a motion to suspend sales altogether.
In the light of the extensive use of live fire by Israeli forces against Palestinians in Gaza, the House calls for a suspension of UK arms sales to Israel, unless it can be demonstrated that weapons and components imported from the UK are used solely in accordance with the consolidated criteria.
That motion did not make it to debate. And while just after the killing of protesters, Britain did join the chorus of countries calling for an independent investigation, when the UN put sending a war crimes probe to Gaza to a vote, the UK abstained, calling into question just how important the truth is to Theresa May's government and leaving London in the comfortable position of condemning potentially horrific abuses while selling the guns to carry them out.
They have always been arming Israel, and actually they've increased their arms to Israel despite being critical occasionally. But the more wars, the more the shareholders go, oh, how much is that up? How much is Elbit shares up? Those stocks must be rising. They must be going through the roof. I really believe it, that if those chairmen, those shareholders, those people working at BAE Systems or Elbit or any other of these arms manufacturers that are supplying Israel, supplying Saudi, they could see the hospitals where I was, where those children were coming in one by one, some without legs. If they could see that, I don't think they'd be selling these weapons at all. I think they would walk away from the industry.
The Israeli army denies using excessive force against protesters. It accuses Hamas of fueling the riots. But new reports of the IDF deploying heavy weaponry appear almost every day. On Sunday, the Gaza Health Ministry said that 3 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli tank fire. Well, earlier, the IDF posted this video saying that it attacked a Hamas military post in Gaza and had to detonate a bomb there. That operation apparently preceded the tank fire incident. A political analyst, Mitchell Barak, says that Israel has every right to protect its borders.
The ones that were killed were close to the border. They were either throwing Molotov cocktails, throwing stones, shooting, trying to do whatever they could to break through the border fence in order to kill Israeli citizens. Please don't call them protesters. We don't care how old they are. If Hamas is willing to put up teenagers or others that are young or old or elderly even in order to break through the Israeli border, the Israeli army will stop them. That's reasonable. The fact that there have been countries that have condemned Israel, I will say, so what? Every country needs to protect their border. Every country needs to protect their citizens.